Hey guys, it's Darren from Darren's How To and Review. Today we are going to talk about the Harbor Freight credit card, and we're going to clear up some of the mystery about questions you may have. There are some absolute gray areas that the Harbor Freight website, as well as some of the signage you see in stores, has. But I went straight to the source. I talked to some of my contacts at Harbor Freight, as well as Synchrony Bank, and I'll explain to you why that's important in a minute. So all your questions answered right after this. Guys, I hope you take a second to like today's video. Also, if you like the content, please subscribe. My goal is to make this something pretty special. There's a lot of great YouTubers out there, and I have aspirations to be one of the great ones, but I need your help to do that. So please subscribe. The biggest thing is comments, anything at all. You have topics that you'd like me to pursue, please write it below. The other thing comments are great for is you guys, because what happens is someone has a comment, inevitably that's a question you may not have thought about that you do need to know the answer to, so comments are amazing, and of course I always do my best to answer every comment. Why am I doing this video? Because every time Harbor Freight has a sale, that's when all the questions come, because the combinations of things that happen if you become a new credit card holder, there's so many sales, there's things you can combine, there's things you can't combine, but today's focus is going to come really questions that I've seen on the Facebook forums, on Instagram, in stores. It's incredible to stand in line at Harbor Freight and watch some of the questions people have that, frankly, some of the store associates, as well-intended as they are, seem to have some trouble answering. So inspiration is simple. There's a lot of gray areas out there, and the more I dug in, the more I found. But I'm going to give you some answers starting right now. Okay, now information is only as good as the source, and my feeling is always go straight to the source, and I went to two places. I went to Harbor Freight, talked to a few of my contacts at Harbor Freight Corporate in California. I also talked to a couple people at Synchrony Bank, and that's really important because Synchrony Bank is sort of the foundation of Harbor Freight's credit card. And by the way, that is not unusual. Many store credit cards actually use banks, and Synchrony is a big one. They do Lowe's, they do Amazon, amongst others. So certainly they're a very, very big bank, but I did talk to a few folks at Synchrony Bank too. So the information I'm giving you is coming straight from the source, either directly from Harbor Freight or directly from Synchrony Bank. Interestingly, there was even a conflict between the two, but in essence, Harbor Freight is the customer here. So what they say is the last word. So I will tell you about that too. All right, let's cut to the chase, because the single biggest thing here is the 10% discount for new card subscribers. It's complex, and I'm going to do my best to explain it as clearly and concisely as I can. Everything that happens after this is important, but it's a lot simpler. So, if you are a brand new card holder, meaning if you've applied today, you will get a 10% discount off of everything that you purchase on that single purchase today. That's on the Harbor Freight website. That is in stores. There are no exclusions. You can buy anything else if there's other items on sale. If there's other ITC sales, that's the Inside Track Club, which of course offers all kinds of discounts as well. But the discount, the 10% discount, which can be used one time, one purchase, there are no exclusions. I confirmed that with the folks at Harbor Freight because this seems to be an issue. I know Harbor Freight was notorious for exceptions and exclusions when they had their coupons. That is not the case with the 10%. So the second question that comes with the 10% is the 0% financing. And I'm going to get into that in a second, but it's important to know there is absolutely no way that you can combine the new card subscriber 10% discount along with 0% financing. You can go at regular financing rate. By the way, the purchase rate is 24.99%. Pretty typical of these types of cards. It's very high, but it's very typical. But you cannot combine those. And that's the question I think I find asked most frequently. So let's make it clear. When you are a new card subscriber, you have a choice. You can take a 10% discount off of today's purchase, pay within 30 days, take your 10% and go home. Or you can finance it. Remember, you're financing at 24.99%. So if it takes you more than about 3 months to pay it off, you've kind of blown up the discount. So I'm not going to get into the nuances of how to use a credit card today. But that is the 10% discount and the 0% financing, which is where we're going to go next. All right, let's talk about the 0% financing, because again, this is another thing there seems to be a lot of questions on. It's not exactly perfectly clear in some of Harbor Freight's marketing material, even some of the things I saw in stores. I'm actually going to put a couple of links or images over the video so you can take a look from their website as to how these work. So I got to refer to my notes here because they're very precise. You have the option 0% financing, and it's what Harbor Freight refers to as their equal pay financing program. All it means is whatever term you get, we'll talk about which term you're going to get in a second, you take the total amount you charged and then you divide it by the number of months the financing. So let's make it really easy. You decide you're going to spend $1,200. That qualifies for 12 months of financing. That means you pay $100 a month. You got to pay on time, otherwise you pay a late fee. I did confirm, by the way, this is kind of cool. One of the things that Harbor Freight, my contact said is, you'll pay a late fee. If you're more than I think there's a handful of days they give you for a grace period, but if you're late, you pay a late fee. It's like $30 or something. But you do not lose the 0% financing, which I thought was pretty amazing. A lot of cards that kind of screw you on that is they consider it a default of some sort, and they flip you back to a purchase rate, which, as I mentioned before, is 24.99%. But let's get to the details here. 6 months financing. You have to spend somewhere between $299 and $498.99. If you spend $499 up to $1,798.99, you're eligible for 12 months financing. Here's the biggie. And if you are trying to build up an arsenal of tools, if you're in the trades, if you're a mechanic, you need some boxes, you need a bunch of, mechanics tools, this is the way to do it. 36 months, equal pay financing. That means on any purchase of $1,799 or more, and of course up to your credit limit, which will be determined by your credit score and your income and all those other things when you open the card. You'll know what your credit limit is right there. 36 months to pay it. Let's go crazy. Say you spend $7,200, which is not impossible if you throw a few US General boxes in there, or you really go crazy and do some of the icon boxes. That's $200 a month. That is an outstanding deal. Now, again, you've got to make sure that you have the means and you are going to be in a position to be able to pay that, because if you're late, as I said, you incur some of the late payments, but you don't lose the 0% interest. And that was surprising to me when I talked to the gentleman at Harbor Freight, because that really, I grilled him pretty aggressively on that, and the folks at Synchrony, because that's unusual. So kudos to Harbor Freight for making that work. And again, just figure out your financing plan, where you're going to land, divide it by the number of months you qualify for based on your purchase, and you will know exactly before you leave the store exactly how many months and how much your payments are going to be. It's a great option. So another question that came up, I'm just going to hit this one pretty quickly. When you open your credit card, you should also get an Inside Track Club membership. I'm not going to get into the details of that. It's a great deal. The 2-year one is probably the better value. The challenge that Harbor Freight has right now is it's taking them about 3 hours to generate your ITC number, and you need an ITC membership number in order to apply that towards your purchase. They're working pretty aggressively on making that happen so it's instant like it is with the credit card. I've heard stories that, some of the stores have said, no problem, we'll just give you the ITC discount right away. You applied for it, you're going to get it. There's no credit check or anything. Anybody can get it as long as you pay the annual fee right there. It's a good thing to get because you can combine discounts. So again, the 10% discount, if you choose to use that, if you choose to use financing, there are some really good ITC values. Again, a topic for another video. The ITC options have really gotten bigger since Harbor Freight has really pulled back on their coupons, and the deals frankly are better than the coupons were. So do that. If you don't have an ITC membership, get one. It's always worth having for the small amount of money that it costs. You spend $100 over the course of a year and it's paid for itself already with the discounts you're going to get. So that is my advice. Make sure you have an ITC membership. If you don't have one, make sure you get one. Now this one was shocking because I mentioned before there was a discrepancy between what the Harbor Freight website said and what the Synchrony website said. And the Synchrony website was really clear. I looked at all their disclosures and I read them thoroughly. Not the most exciting reading in the world, by the way. And they said that you can use the card in stores, which makes all the sense in the world. They said very specifically, you cannot use a Harbor Freight credit card online. And that's absolutely not true, but there's an asterisk. I'm going to get to that. So when I talked to the folks at Harbor Freight, they were adamant. No, that is 100% not true. You can use your credit card in any Harbor Freight store at any time. If you make a purchase online, 100% you are eligible to use your Harbor Freight card. The terms are the same. The conditions are the same. There is absolutely no difference if you make a purchase in stores or on the website. Here's the nuance, and I think this is where Synchrony probably got confused. If for some reason you were to call Harbor Freight customer service, they don't have a way to process the card, the Harbor Freight card, on the telephone. So I think that's where Synchrony messed up and got confused, is if you call, and by the way, Harbor Freight's customer service people are unbelievable. That's the only time you can't use your Harbor Freight card. So if you need something, if you've got a question, call customer service, they'll answer your questions, then go on the website, make your purchase, and then 100% for sure you can use your Harbor Freight credit card on the website. Now let's talk about the 5% back. Now they don't call it 5% back. You get these points that you accrue. Frankly, it almost sounds like there's something funky going on. And the interesting part, there isn't. So let's boil this down into English. Every dollar you spend in Harbor Freight, again, in stores or online, you get 5 points in credit, okay? After you get to 500 points, you can start to get a gift certificate back. And they will either email that to you or they will actually still send one in the mail if you want to get a physical gift certificate. And what it is every time you accumulate 500 points, it's $5 off. The math works out to effectively, it's a 5% rebate every single time you spend $100, right? And then it's sort of one of those pay it forward type of deals where you get the discount today, but you get enough points, they automatically send it to you. And they don't last forever after you get the gift certificate. They do expire after 90 days. I've heard some folks say that they've gotten it and they were a little bit surprised. It's very clear. I looked at physical gift certificates as well as the information if you get it emailed to you electronically. It's really clear on there when it expires, and I don't think that's unfair in any way. That they're sending you a $5 gift certificate, 3 months is plenty of time to use it. So that's the deal on the 5%. It's not that confusing. The way they word it, the points make it almost seems like there's got to be some trick in there, and I promise there's not. It's actually effectively just every time you make a purchase, you're getting a 5% discount. And a couple just general things I'm going to wrap up with, and I am sure that at some point in here you've probably had some questions. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, please take a few minutes and comment. If there's something that I said that may be a little unclear or you need further clarification, or there's a question I just didn't address, absolutely mention it in the comments below and I'll either respond right there or possibly it'll be a good topic for another video. So please, love to hear the comments. Just a couple of general things to wrap up. And I want to talk about Synchrony Bank because they do a great job. A lot of credit cards, if you've called some, they've got really limited customer service hours. Synchrony Bank is 24/7, and their people are absolutely terrific. So if you do have a problem that's credit card related, payment related, you do that through Synchrony. That's not Harbor Freight's thing. Harbor Freight, of course, you talk to their customer service folks if you've got product questions or there's a problem or you need to warranty something. There's no annual fee. That's another nice thing. Again, most of the cards like this don't have an annual fee, so that's not a surprise. It's not like the American Express Platinum card that's a $500 annual fee. So frankly, that's not a surprise, but if you're a Harbor Freight fan, you're going to shop there. It's worth getting the card. It keeps everything super clean. And again, that 5% back really, I don't know a credit card that's going to pay you more than 5%. So if you spend money at Harbor Freight, that's probably the best way to do it. All right, guys, I hope that answered all the big questions for this topic. Look, credit cards, they're a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo. Part of my previous life, I had to read contracts that our company did to work with our customers. And it's incredible the difference between the word and the word or, how much of a difference it can make in what's going to happen. So don't worry, you don't need to read all the legal mumbo jumbo. I will keep you up to date if I do hear anything that changes with the card. By the way, I mentioned that, these promotions and these deals are always subject to change. Harbor Freight started this a little over a year ago. I want to say it was July of last year of 2020 when they started the credit card program. And it's changed very, very little. Just really subtle, small changes. So don't think that, they're putting out these, great deals. They're going to pull the rug out from under you. They want to keep you shopping in their stores and they want to keep you shopping on their website. So it makes sense. The programs by no means are unreasonable. So I'd say go out and get a Harbor Freight credit card. I hope this helped you understand the best way to use it based on your needs and your situation. But it's a terrific card. The rewards are really good. And if you use it at the right times, the right way, you're going to save a boatload of money. So that's it for today. It's Darren from, I got to come up with a better name for my channel, by the way. I'm thinking Darren's 5-star reviews and how-to. That could be it. Let me know what you think. If you can come up with a name, you can put those in the comments too. I'm sure there will be some good ones. Guys, until next time, thanks for watching.